Hello and welcome to She Did That, the podcast that celebrates women shaping the promotional product industry, one bold idea, one fearless leap, and one inspiring story at a time.
I'm Emily Codner here with my fabulous co-host Amelia Model. Every episode we will be chatting with trailblazers, innovators, and everyday boss babes who are making big waves in the promotional product space. One product, one pitch, one bold move at a time.
And today's guest is media personality Anji Corely. She's got a story worth hearing, a journey worth celebrating, and you guessed it, she did that.
Yay!
Welcome, Anji.
Hello. Oh my goodness. I feel stressed. As this is so exciting. Lady, it's so good to be with you.
Yes, we love having you. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
The promo industry it's been a privilege for us to watch you host The Pitch and Expo Live. But while you're not working in promo in the traditional sense, you're not a distributor, you're not a service provider, you're not a supplier.
Right.
How did you fall into this crazy world that we love?
You know, it started back when I was in college. I started to intern at a radio station, and I would love to raid the promo closet. You know, where you had to get the lock and key, and you got cool t-shirts, and you got tickets and passes and all the movie adventures and all the fun. And I was all about it. First of all, my energy level naturally and organically is on 10. So the fact that I could be at one event to the next, I just soared in that business. Then graduating, I worked and became promotion director of the radio station. And then through my commercial work and my other broadcast multimedia adventures, I met Dale Denham, and I started to do a ton for PPAI Day, the work day. They asked me to come for the last 3 years to do the pitch and Expo Live, and it just grew my merch love. Listen, it wasn't about tchotchkes that I was attracted to. One of my most favorite things, and I have to share a picture at one point, it's my Martin on Fox TV network jacket. It's embroidered, it's denim, it's like this hot jacket. And I just used to love every poster, every pen, personalized, customized. It was all exciting to me. I don't know, growing up for an only child for so long, the more fun and toys you gave me, I just got excited. And here we are.
And here we are.
That's a good start. And I have to just add, you have way too much going on to be a radio voice. Like, I'm not going to age you because you still look no more than 25, but I'm guessing when they started radio, they didn't have the podcasting, so people couldn't see your energy and see how beautiful you are. They could just hear your voice, but girl, you got to be in front of the camera at all times.
You're so sweet. You know, I just love being really multimedia when it comes to hosting, emceeing. So whether I'm on stage, I'm literally in my studio right now. I did some production. I did some commercial work, some VO, and I'm going to voice track a little bit later. Commercials, some plays. I mean, you name it. It depends on the day, girl. Listen, we wear different hats, right? If I spin this chair around, I'm gonna have a different hat on. And I just love that it's makeup on, makeup off, be yourself, be authentic, be true. Some consider it a jack of all trades, master of none. I disagree, because to me, they are all related. I'm delivering a story. I am a master storyteller, right? I deliver my energy, whether I'm talking about, thriving and striving, rising and grinding, whether I am we just did a radio telethon for 24 hours with John Hopkins All Children's Hospital, right? We did it, whether I am doing this or that, it's the same me. I'm giving you some love straight from me. It's my energy is my superpower. So I just love, no matter what the day is, that I get to bring it every day, and it's received so well. So I got more to give, more to do.
I love it. Well, you talked a little bit about why you liked promo and how you kind of fell upon it in your other career. So what's your favorite part about being involved in the promo industry, other than the free swag?
Which is dynamite. But, it's the people. I can't even tell you, the first year I did PPAI, an industry I only knew from being a receiver or getting a box in the mail or a this or a that, or looking at something and saying, oh, I need to buy that at a concert, to meeting the people. And then year 2, I'm like, oh my God, they remember me. Oh my God, I remember them. Oh my God, a hug. Let's go have a bite. Let's go chat. The family love that was introduced to me from PPAI is unmatched. Emily and I hanging out, her welcoming into a woman's view who I was an attendee in the past. And then to just be on stage and rocking and meeting women from a different lens. I love
Yeah.
that. So truly it is the camaraderie, it's love, it's family, and it is the most honest industry on my side looking in that little peephole because no one seems like a competitor. I'm like, where does this happen at? People
Yeah.
are sharing information. They're like, let's connect. Hey, I know someone. Let me give you this. Or like, that's almost unheard of. You know what I mean? Like when I'm at a radio station, we're not like hugging and high-fiving down the street. We're trying to take them down with the ratings. But when you're outside of the building, it's like, oh, let's go get dinner, you know? So it's the people, it's the love, it's the discovery of it's more than tchotchkes, right? There's a purpose. And that is like super attractive. I love the intentionality. I love the inclusiveness of it. And it is just downright fun. Like, are you kidding? It is so much fun.
Yep. We know anything. We know how to have fun in our industry. And
Yes.
you said
Yes.
it,
So much
yes.
fun.
And you said it best. I mean, we talk about this all the time. Like, we are a small industry, but we don't like, we have a big enough sandbox that there's no competition. It's like,
Right.
here's your idea. Let's talk about this. I need help here. Let me work with you. I love that. I love our industry, and I love how we can go to like months without seeing each other, but then we come to PPI. It's like friend, family.
Yes.
Can't wait to see you again.
Yes.
So you brought up a woman's view, and I remember being on Expo Live with you the first time, and I was like, hey, like, we're having an event, come on down. And you're like, yeah, I'll be there. And you like came. It was great.
Yes. Like people say it, but do they do it? Right. It's sometimes it's just like a brush off. No. I was like, yes. Emily, you were absolutely so welcoming, so warm, a great interview. Like you feel people. I could smell people a mile away. You can smell like stinkness, right? You're like, oh, no, thanks. That's not my energy. But your vibe and your energy, I was like, I'm locked in. That is my girl. I'm coming. And I have been there for the last, 4 years now.
Yeah.
And it has been life changing. Every time it just gets, I feel like bigger and better. Everyone, especially at PPAI, you have so many invitations and you're, sorry, got to move this off my calendar is busy. But everyone comes to a woman's view. Women in this industry, it's a different game altogether. I work with all men, whether it's TV, it's radio, it's on stage, it's in the boardroom. I need a seat at the table. I want to be at that chair. I'm pulling up. You know what I mean? I'm going to be right there. Don't have to wear heels all the time, right?
Nope.
I just need to, no, that's like, what year are we in? What decade, right? So I just love that we connected and I meant it. And we got more to do. There's more business to handle.
Absolutely. So you were guests, you were MC this year. So what about that made you want to say yes? Besides our great chemistry, but besides that, what made you want to say yes?
Being in the room as a participant, sitting at the table, conversations, your purpose, right? You are so, I know I said intentional, but you mean what you say. You want to help elevate. I love elevating. And the teamwork of women together, whether it's promo today or it's broadcast tomorrow, or it's sales or that small business or moms or whatever it is, us working out or just getting life together, the bond is so strong, it's undeniable. Whether you just met someone on the elevator or you were walking down the sidewalk and you bump into someone going into Kava, like when you connect with someone, So being in that space, you're like, dang, everybody wants the same thing, to win or to learn how to win, or I want to learn how to do something better to elevate myself. I love the elevation. I love the exposure that everyone's looking for, but still that partnership. And that's why I was so elated to host this year.
And you were amazing. Amazing.
Thank
So
you.
much fun.
She is. She is. You mentioned you've had a lot. You got a lot of hats. I don't know how many heads you have to wear all those hats, but you got a lot of hats. So, have you or have there been any pivotal turns or risks that helped shape your career path into where you are now?
Every single one. Every setback is a setup for a step forward. I can't even tell you how many times I have gone into a job, a gig, whether it's radio, it's TV, it's a shoot, it's a play, and you walk in and you're like, oh, we're being syndicated. Oh, okay, I guess I lost my job. Oh, Oh, you wanted a man in this role? And I'm going to tell you a funny story about that. Oh, I guess I got to go audition again. Or there's always something. And I'm like, okay, here's what I say. You kill them with success. And you also do it with kindness. I'm
Yeah.
not holding a grudge. Like you said, Emily, there's way too much out here for all of us. And whether I look like your ex-wife or your girlfriend or your best friend that you're not friends with, and you're like, I don't like her because she laughs and she smiles too much. Oh, well, that's your problem, not mine. Which
Yep.
leads me to my wrist of love here. As I call, sometimes you need an armchair encourager. And looking down, it's not always for someone else. Like my she did that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you see that? She did that. Thank you, Emily. To one of my new favorites is Let Them. If
Mhm.
you're familiar with Mel Robbins, listen, the Let Them theory has changed me. I'm gonna let y'all do you. And I can only control how I feel, how I
Mhm.
react. What's next? What's in it? I got to let you do the craziness. So, yes, there's been spaces that I walked into that I'm like, oh boy. But you know what? I leave with my grace, I leave with my dignity, and I leave knowing that's not acceptable or that is acceptable. And I like those terms. So, let's go.
Preach, sister, preach.
I hope I answered that question because sometimes you got
Um,
to
This is
encourage
a good one.
yourself, really and truly. Yeah.
100%. I think that's definitely the mantra for 2026. Let them, like, just let
Yeah.
go, like, just let it be, let it ride. And just as long as you're being true to yourself and, following your values, and great, you're good. You kind of mentioned it like in your last point, but what are some of the challenges you faced as a woman in all the industries that you've been in?
People don't, when I started in promotion, when I started in radio, when I started doing commercial work, even in theater, um, in TV, live shopping television, HSN, people didn't always believe you. The men always seemed to be at the head of the table. And I was like, but why? And I
Mhm.
tell you, one of the challenges, until I met one of my former CEOs, Mindy Grossman from HSN, this woman is a bad beep. She's bad heck. She was so graceful and so gracious and professional and knowledgeable. She was always reading. We would meet for lunch. People would be like, oh, you met with her? I'm like, she puts her plants on just like you and I do. Like that intimidation of a role, of a position never scared me.
Mhm.
So some of the challenges were making sure I was heard, that we as women were in the room, like I mentioned. And honestly, sometimes it's hard to hear no. If I were to say, ladies, everybody stand up, let me look you up and down and say, next, you'd be like, so some of that defeat in the
Mhm.
beginning, and even sometimes now, comes with you looked up and down, you've submitted, you've applied, you think you're great, you're ready for it, and they say, no, thank you. When I was growing up, one of my responses used to be like, but why? When we want to know the but why, you don't always get it. So the challenge sometimes is knowing I am great. And as my other bracelet says, one of my new favorites, let me just show you this one real quick. It says worthy. We
Oh,
are
love it.
so worthy. You are worthy. You are worthy. You're worthy. And we all are. And one person or two people or a board or a company can't define that. But I had to learn that the hard way, because when you're in front of the camera or in front of the mic or with the headphones on, you are scrutinized first,
Mhm.
which makes you look at yourself and say, what's wrong? Is my size? Is my color? Is my XYZ okay? Right? Do you hear my voice? And I love to mentor and I teach young girls and women. And I say, you have to make sure your voice is right, that you are strong, and it's okay to be wrong,
Mhm.
but you have to ask some questions, get in the game. You got to just be in there and be prepared when you get in that room. So learning that and trying to teach that and pass it on is one of those things that was definitely a challenge, because you look at yourself and you're like, why not me? I think I'm great.
Yeah. Just say you're bad
That's
instead
right.
of like saying my bad, like, or I'm sorry. When they excuse you, just be like, oh, bad on you. You're
Okay.
bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you talked about a little bit what you do to encourage other women, but how do you hope your work has paved the way for other women?
I think anyone I talk to, whether again it's passed by, it's at a conference, it's at a woman's view, right? At PPAI, at the expo, or on the floor, or wherever I am, a plane, because I seem to live on a plane, that someone leaves that conversation or a brief meeting, or me saying, dang, I like your outfit. Something makes us feel great. I want the takeaway to be, you feel good, you are special, you are worthy, you're important, you have a voice. Let's use it. Why? What are you holding it for? You are valued. And there's so much more we can do. Don't be afraid to fall and fail and flunk and all these things. You can do it. You really can. And sometimes you need a little help, but you know what? There's always different ways to skin that cat. We're just going to figure it out. Stop. Don't say no.
Yep. Love it.
Because you tell me no, that is like a yes. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. All right.
Tell me no today, watch me tomorrow.
Right.
So taking it back to promo a little bit,
Okay.
you and I had the opportunity to walk the floor at Expo, which was so much fun. I love seeing eyes through the eyes of people who are not in this in the day to day. So it's
Yes.
so much fun and so much excitement.
Right.
But what was your favorite promotional product you saw when we were walking the floor at Expo?
Oh man. This year, one of my favorites, anything monogrammed. I love the notebooks, the leather bound notebooks that, so whether it is a saying that speaks to you, if someone's name, it's a date, it's a number, it's just your name, all of those. When they did the etched pen, remember, and we got pens that were etched on the spot, 10 seconds, done. I'm like,
Shout out SRG.
SRG in the house. I mean, that was so fly. Those were like, ooh la la. Those were amazing, really amazing. And anything you can customize. Like I remember getting a notebook. We could choose the front, choose the back, choose the pins. And you're like, oh, wait a minute. I like lines. Well, I don't. You want graphs? Okay. I like to-dos. I want check boxes, So anything that really speaks to me, and especially depending on the day, I'm all about a vibe, right? I got different vibes for different days, different colors for different moods. So anything that gives me that, like, what am I feeling today? And it delivers that.
Yeah. And shout out to Numo for the interactive experiences, the leather lab, the building the notebooks, the pen. That was, I think the theme of this year was all about experiences. I have to say, between those two groups I mentioned, HPG, everything was about an experience today.
HPG is so great. Yeah, that board, that like blackout board with the paint, the chalkboard paint. Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was fun.
Every time I walked the floor with you, Emily, it was like, what? Like the delight. And you really had to like step into the booth, right? To see, because you could miss things just walking and pulling your bag and pulling your cart if you weren't like really taking a second to say, oh. And I did a lot of that.
You did. It was fun to, like I said, it was fun to watch.
I think we need to implement a buddy system, not for the whole show, but for a little bit, like a newbie, because it's like walking with a child. Like you see things differently versus most of us that have been in here for a dozen years or so. You kind of have blinders on, you walk, you're like, no thanks, I'm doing my thing, no thanks.
Yeah, right.
But you're like, you go in, you're excited, you're like, yes, please give me your spiel. Do you want a sample? Yes, thank you. Did you have to get an extra suitcase to take all your stuff home, Angie?
Oh, honey, listen, how many Listen, every year I bring a foldable or collapsible like bag.
Oh my God.
I always go to FedEx. I'm like, I don't want to be a hoarder. Am I a promo hoarder?
We'll have to check your closet offline and see. We'll let you know.
Okay.
So I have a feeling everything excites you in your life because you just have that type of energy, which I love. But what's something you're working on now that's really got you excited?
Oh, there's a new cooking project that I'm doing.
Ooh.
I just started. It's really cool. It's going to be dinner ideas. And it's great because I can eat out every day. First of all, I'm so foodie or gourmand, if you want to call it that. So I love that. So it is so exciting because I'm meeting the chefs. They're giving me chef secrets and they're like teaching me how to slice better or the purpose behind a 45-degree cut for this Japanese chicken curry that I made actually last week. It's so much fun. So it's a really cool project that I'm excited about. So that's new. That's going to be coming out very shortly. And what? Oh my gosh, there's a few other goodies.
I know. Can you tell? I don't want you to get in trouble telling any like trade secrets that you've signed NDAs for, but Go ahead. No one's listening, just us.
And
Go
they
ahead.
right, and they do make you sign those, quiet as kept. Um, yeah, the cookie show is definitely a really big one, and there's another fun streaming opportunity that I'm working on.
Okay.
Yeah, so live shopping TV is huge, and branching out into different, whether it's TikTok or private brands, is really cool. So that's be on the lookout for some of that.
Okay.
And one of my dreams, I need Tyler Perry to be listening. Tyler Perry, I am ready for your next series, buddy.
We'll make sure we get this out to him. We'll get him the link.
Let's
You
go.
need to tell somebody, Tyler's
Tell
person of a
somebody.
person of a person that knows him.
Exactly.
Tell somebody
That's
that
right.
he needs to know Angie.
That's
Yeah.
right. I need it.
Let's
Let's go.
manifest that. So before we sign off, where can people find you if they want to keep up with your
Yes.
adventures?
Oh, I would love it. You are so right, Emily and Amelia. These are about adventures. Facebook, Instagram, everything. Angie Corely. On Instagram, it's Angie.Corley. But ANJI, very unique, just like me, super interesting spelling. So please follow me. Let's connect. Yes, I answer DMs. Unless you're creepy, you get blocked. But
Unless you got the stank.
stank face. Don't get the stank face, please. You will get, and the other side comes out. You're like, what? She said that? It's very rare. I'm a New Yorker at heart. Okay, so sometimes you know how it is, right? But
We keep it real.
please, on all socials, Angie Corley and AngieCorley.com, ANJICORLEY.com. Let's connect. Let's collaborate. Let's do more fun. And ladies, y'all are amazing. Can I just say thank you?
Aww.
For you guys to uplift? I can say she did that and she did that. And now I did that with y'all. So
We did that.
thank
Certainly
you.
did. We did it together. When one of us succeeds, all of us succeed. So here we go.
Right on.
All right. Well, Miss Angie, thank you so much for being here today. It's always such a joy to see you and have the opportunity to chat with you. And thank you to everyone else who had joined us today on She Did That. We look forward to seeing you next time. But for now, take it in, be inspired, then go do that. Thank you so much.
Bye.